In a small village, there lived a man named Seth Gopal. He was incredibly wealthy, but his arrogance knew no bounds. He had vast property, but his heart never beat for others. Gopal's wife, Savitri, was a simple and humble woman. She was always troubled by her husband's pride, but she couldn't find the right moment to make him understand. Seth Gopal's grand mansion, gardens, farmlands, and businesses added to his glory. He always made sure everyone knew he was the biggest man around. People feared him because he controlled all the business in the village. Seth Gopal flaunted his wealth to his workers, laborers, and even his neighbors. He would often say, "You people are not even worthy of my shoes. I am the greatest man." Savitri, Gopal's wife, was always saddened by her husband's arrogance. She wanted Gopal to focus more on kindness and humanity, rather than just wealth, but she couldn't muster the courage to speak up. Savitri was distressed by Gopal's behavior, but she knew that it would take patience and time to change him. One day, a wise and kind hermit arrived in the village. Upon hearing about Gopal's arrogance, he decided to approach him. Gopal didn't realize that the hermit could talk about his soul more than his wealth. The hermit told Gopal, "Wealth and power bring nothing. What truly matters is inner peace and contentment." Gopal dismissed the hermit's words as insignificant and mocked him. Seth Gopal's pride continued to grow, and he kept flaunting his power. He believed that his wealth and authority made him the greatest man in the world. He was often seen driving expensive cars and wearing expensive jewelry just to show off his lavish life. The villagers always cowered before him because they feared that Gopal's wrath would fall upon them. His words were sharp enough to disturb anyone. Savitri's situation was getting worse with each passing day. Despite living with her husband, she felt completely alone. Her mind constantly wondered, will my husband ever change? Will he ever admit his mistakes and let go of his pride? Savitri couldn't find any way to free Gopal from his arrogance and pride. She tried multiple times, but each time Gopal's responses were harsher. One day, Gopal's business suddenly collapsed. His once prosperous property and enterprises started facing huge losses. His assets began to be sold off, and gradually even his expensive cars and gardens were auctioned. Gopal realized that he had destroyed his entire life due to his arrogance and pride. It dawned on him that what he cherished most was only temporary. Savitri stood by her husband. She explained to Gopal that now was the time for him to leave his old habits behind and begin a new life. Gopal now realized that his wife was the one person who had always been his greatest truth and support. Gopal now realized that his wife was the one person who had always been his greatest truth and support. Savitri explained to him that he could still be a good person, but he needed to accept his mistakes. She said, "Money and wealth do not last forever, but humanity and love always do." Gopal then apologized to the villagers. He abandoned his arrogance and admitted that he had been wrong in his pride. The villagers were initially shocked, but slowly they accepted Gopal. They forgave him when they saw his humility. Gopal began a new life. He had left his pride behind. He began using his wealth for good deeds. He now sat with the villagers, sharing happy moments, never looking down on anyone. His mindset had completely changed. Savitri, who had always worried about her husband, now saw him happy. She realized that Gopal's transformation was her greatest joy. They both now lived a peaceful and content life together. Savitri's heart swelled with pride because she had kept her patience and trust to bring her husband back on the right track. Gopal and Savitri's lives had completely transformed. Gopal was now respected not just for his wealth, but for his humanity and goodness. He had learned from his experiences that true happiness lies in building good relationships with others and being kind, not just in money.